Welcome to Loup TV. It's earnings week. We got another behemoth to talk about. It's Tesla. I'm joined with Loop's own Andrew Murphy today. I'm going to pass the baton over to Andrew.
All right, Gene, big Tesla earnings last night and a surprise product launch. Would love your overall take on Tesla earnings first.
The big picture is we just first enter this earnings period with Tesla in the next year with really, we don't have clear sense about where the stock is going to go over the next year. This could be up 30%, it could be down 30%. We have no idea. And part of the reason is that it's had a large move more recently. And what Tesla is doing, it's building something for the long haul. And I do think that some of these themes take longer than you expect, which can have a negative impact on the stock, but ultimately be bigger. And so I just want to start there is I don't know what Tesla stock is going to do. I think if you have a 1-year time horizon, you should not own Tesla. I think if you have a 3 to 5-year time horizon, you should own Tesla. And so we'll start there. As far as the quarter is concerned, you got to put it into two pieces. There's the January 2nd news, which is probably the most important, which is the delivery number. It was up 61%. The overall auto industry was down 5%. In fairness to the auto industry, Tesla's numbers are smaller, so it's easier for them to have growth rates, but they continue this wide gap between their deliveries versus the overall auto industry. Last night, the news was mostly good. It was highlighted, I think, we'll start with the negatives. We lead with the negatives, is that the auto gross margins were below what analysts had expected. They've been improving more recently. They were expected to be X credits around 24%. They ended around 21%, slight dip from, call it 23% last quarter. There was some one-time events, some extra expenses related to the pandemic, some reasons that if you normalize that it would have been actually a sequential improvement, but nonetheless showed a small step back, and that is a negative flag for some investors. On the positive side, free cash flow was double what analysts were expecting. They have more than $19 billion in cash now. That's up from, I think it was $14.5 billion in the September quarter. So they're well stocked. And they had some nice product announcements. You said the surprise with the new Model S Plaid, this redesign. The first time since 2012 they've done this, and they are also redesigning the Model X, first time since it was released in 2015. So these are long in the tooth. We've been waiting a long time for this. I'm surprised it finally happened, but we've been waiting a long time. They bumped up the price of the Model S by $10,000 to $80,000 for the starting price. So I think that they feel some confidence there around what the demand for some of these higher end products are. The other big picture really took away is just when you think about what the story is going to be in 2021, let's move on past the quarter. What do they need to do? They got to continue to grow deliveries, and they reiterated their long-term growth rate of 50% in deliveries, which means this year it's going to be higher, and it's probably in line with where the street's at. They talked a lot about autonomy. They did say that the first autonomous vehicle is likely going to be a Tesla Semi. And they said that we're going to hear more about robo-taxis this year. I mean, those are some really big opportunities that can debate whether they're reflected in the stock. And so that was a long list. It was fast, but those are my takeaways.
Two product-related questions. First, when you looked at the Model X and the Model S interior redesign, did anything stand out to you, kind of giving you indications of where the product line is headed in the future?
Yes, the steering wheel jumped out like it was like a gorilla came out of my screen, and there's no top of it. I remember Scotty, my driving instructor from SC School of Driving, and 10 and 2, we just pounded that into us, and here we are. It's difficult to do 10 and 2. I think you got to do like 9 and 3. I'm talking about the steering wheel.
Yeah. Well, it's 40% gone, because I think 40% of our driving is going away with this car.
That's I'm surprised that they got that steering wheel approved, but it does as a great leading indicator. That definitely surprised me.
Then I also heard they talked about full self-driving as a possible subscription upgrade package. Can you talk about that and tell us how that would impact the model going forward?
They've been hinting to this. They said that it's coming in the next few months. It's $10,000 for full FSD. And right now we think that the adoption rate is somewhere between 20 and 30% of new vehicles. And it's a big number though, $10,000. And I think that for people just to wait and see FSD come to fruition, then I think they'll be more willing to pay up for this. So I think, and it's pure margin for them. And, Elon went through some Elon-like mathematical gymnastics and got to a $50 billion annual revenue from the FSD. And so I'm not saying it's going to get to that. It's going to be a long time before they get there. No need for investors to factor that in anytime soon. But the concept of taking an expensive feature like FSD and breaking it down into monthly installments should be good for adoption.
All right. So you're saying that they could actually increase the attach rate and potentially increase the revenue they generate from it over time. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, that's the thought. I mean, the bottom line is this: they got to deliver on FSD. It's in 1,000 private beta right now. They have glowing commentary around it, but they got to deliver on that. Until they deliver on it, you're really not going to see an uptake. And if they do deliver on what they're talking about, which they're saying they're saying late this year, which probably means middle of next year, then I think you could see a nice improvement. I think that if they deliver on this, you're going to see a material increase in the adoption. I think it all plays to probably a good place to stop here is that the big picture is that things are slowly moving in the right direction. We emphasize the word slow, which is going to add some massive unpredictability over the stock over the next year, but continue to believe that if they stay on their track and deliver what they're trying to, this can be a bigger market cap. So on behalf of Tesla, on behalf of Andrew, on behalf of, that kind of wraps up what we'll be talking about on Loop TV in the quarters. We're going to sign off for now. I'm Gene. This is Loop TV. Bye for now.